Okay, so I'm going to show you how to take some shapefiles that you created in ArcMap and bring them into ArcGIS Online. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go into our folder where we've saved our data, and I'm going to be working with the Jessica's Law information. So I'm in my Jessica's Law folder, and I see all of these files that are associated with my Jessica's Law map. Now I sort the files by name, and I decide that I want to bring in the buffer, the 2,000-foot buffer, for around my sex offenders, and I want to bring that into ArcGIS.com. So what I do is I highlight all of the files that are named the same. So I'm going to take the 2,000-foot ring 4 files, and I'm going to right mouse click all of them, and I'm going to send to a compressed zip folder. And as you see, it shows up here. It looks like a little folder with a zipper. I've also done the same thing with the sex offenders earlier on, and it's the same process. You highlight, and then you right mouse click, and you send to zipped folder. So then what you do is you go in and you log into ArcGIS Online, and you want to make sure you're in the mapping portion. So now I'm going to add data to my map. So I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to add layer from a file. And it's going to ask me to go find a file. So I'm going to go back out, and I'm going to scroll to my Jessica's Law folder, and I want to add my sex offenders. I'll start with them to my map. So I'm going to click on my sex offender zipped folder. I'm going to hit Open, Import Layer, and then my sex offenders are going to start to be imported into the map. Now, if you notice, it automatically color codes them to be unique symbols, and I don't want that. I want my sex offenders to just be all the same symbols. So I'm going to scroll down and choose Select Single Symbol Selection. So now I can hit Done. So my sex offenders are in the map. Next, I want to add another layer from File, and I'm going to choose and go back out, and now I'm going to add my 2,000-foot ring. So I'm looking at the zip file, and I'm going to add that to the map. And now I'm going to import that layer. And then what you're going to see is the buffers have been imported. Now, what I want to do is I want to make it so I can see through those buffers. So I'm going to hit the Options, and I'm going to hit Symbols, and I'm going to change my symbols so that the fill does not have a color, and that there's an outline of a solid dark color. And I think I'll make the line width maybe 2. I'm going to hit OK. So now I can actually start to see my buffers around my sex offenders. And then I can hit OK. And at this point, I can start to save my data. Now we're going to share all of our information so that we can borrow and share each other's layers. So there's a few things that we need to do. We're going to go in to the Options, and we are going to save the layer. And now we have to give it a name. So I'm going to get rid of that ring, but I'm going to say for what zip code, 92111, that this is for. And then I'm going to write Jessica's Law. And then I'm going to write Kearney, SCT. And then I'm going to create that item. In fact, I want to save that item into my Jessica's Law group. Do I see that? Oh, not yet. I'll show that in a second. Okay. And then I will hit Create Item. So now I've created a layer. I'm going to do the exact same thing for my sex offenders too. And this is how you add a layer into ArcGIS.com from a shapefile that you created in ArcMap.